Ball has been brought to you by the New Mexico Public Regulation Commission, who reminds you to call 811 before you dig. Fat Tire Beer, all refreshing. Defined Fitness, make us part of your playbook. Also brought to you by Western Refining, fueling our lives. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Everguard Solar and Everguard Roofing. This is the Lobo Postgame Show. Once again, Robert Portnoy.
Welcome back courtside inside the Thomas & Mack Center in Las Vegas. You're tuned into the Lobo Basketball Postgame Show. We're on Buffalo Wild Wings Radio Row. The Lobos fall here today to Nevada Wolfpack. The final score, Nevada 64 and New Mexico 62. The Lobos eliminated from the Mountain West tournament in the quarterfinal round. Hunter, this was just a super exciting finish, and a couple of plays here or there decided it at the end. Really have to tip your cap to a fabulous freshman, Cameron Oliver, who played perhaps the game of his life, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he was spectacular, 26 points and 15 rebounds, and the game-sealing block on the Cullen Deal corner three ball that resulted in, 2 foul shots there with half a second to go.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's no question. When I look up and watch the play of Oliver, he looks like a first-team all-conference player. I mean, he made, third team?
Third team.
But today, and that might have been the fuel for him to play against Tim Williams, who was named the first-team all-conference. It's like, look, I'm a first-team all-conference. Let me show you what I can do. And he came out and showed it. I mean, 15 boards, 26 points. Great game by the freshman.
Spectacular day for him. 11 of 21 field. 1 of 3 from deep. 3 of 3 at the line. 3 of 5 at the line. 15 boards to go with those 26 points. Cameron Oliver named to the all-defensive team as well. And he was not selected the freshman of the year by the coaches. That was Hemsley from San Diego State. But he was selected freshman of the year by the media. And he showed just how good he is tonight.
No question. I mean, he was by far the best player on the court this afternoon.
Lobos had one Everguard Solar slam dunk. That means $10. Courtesy Everguard Solar to All Face. All Face serves over 2,500 kids and their families every year. They teach them how to prevent abuse. They guide them as they recover from it. Help us give children back their childhood. Learn more by visiting allfaiths.org. We take our first time out on the Lobo Basketball Postgame Show. New Mexico falls in the quarters of the Mountain West Tournament. Nevada 64, Lobos 62, the final. Back after this, Lobo Basketball from Learfield.
If you're a business owner, big or small, you're all about investing in the future of your company. Did you know that workers' comp coverage from New Mexico Mutual can be a smart investment? Because they provide free safety education and resources that can actually help reduce the occurrence of workplace accidents and claims. And when you can prevent accidents from happening, your productivity goes up and your costs go down, which means you can keep more of your company's resources for other investments. And with New Mexico Mutual, your premium dollars stay local. Ask your agent today about New Mexico Mutual. Coverage at work.
If there was just one thing you could do to make your business more competitive, this is it. Introducing CenturyLink Cloud Solutions. These are the tools that will help you protect and support your business. Try our cloud solutions free for 30 days. Back up files automatically, improve your website, and get 24/7 remote IT support. To take advantage of our free 30-day trial, visit us at CenturyLinkCloudNM.com. Business customers only. Service and offer not available in all areas. Restrictions, terms, and conditions apply. Contact CenturyLink for details. CenturyLink, proud sponsor of Lobo Athletics.
Albuquerque, where everyone's a Lobo. And for over 27 years, the 5 Larry H. Miller dealerships, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Toyota, and Hyundai, have been howling for the Lobos and serving our local community. Larry H. Miller dealerships give generously to local women and children's charities and are proud sponsors of our Lobos football and basketball programs. Join us in howling for the Lobos and all 5 Larry H. Miller dealerships, driven by you.
It's Malloy Dodge Madness now during Ram Truck Month. Are the other guys charging too much? Technical foul. Our 2016 Ram 1500s are up to $11,000 off. Get your fast break in a 2016 Dodge Dart, just $194 a month. Get $4,000 cash back on a new Dodge Journey, or drive it away for just $250 a month. Nothing but net and savings at Malloy Dodge on Coors. Deal.
All offers and rebates must meet certain specific qualifications to receive incentives. More information at malloydodge.com/promo-info or see dealer for details.
Back courtside, Buffalo Wild Wings Radio Row inside the Thomas and Mack Center in Las Vegas. The Lobos have fallen to Nevada. The 4-seed Lobos dropped this one to the Wolfpack 64-62 in the Mountain West Tournament quarterfinals. New Mexico's bid for a 5th conference tournament championship has come to an end in its first game of this tournament. For the second straight year, the Lobos lose their first game in the tournament. Here in Vegas, they lost in a first-round game, a play-in game last year to Air Force, this year to Nevada in the 4-5 matchup here in the Thomas and Mack. Hunter, you know, we'll talk a bit more about this before we close. The postseason opportunities, there's the College Insiders Tournament, the CIT, there's the CBI, and then there's a brand new tournament right here in Vegas called the Vegas 16. There's possibility. We have no inside information on any of that, but just throwing it out there that New Mexico, with this loss, potentially could play another game, theoretically, in one of those events. The Lobos record is now 17-15 on the year.
Yeah, you know, and then there's that invitation, but then there's, you know, is the team in a position to move forward and continue to play? I mean, they may just be at the end of the road. I'm not sure if there's any more left in the gas tank to play another game or another tournament. So we'll see.
Yep, and there are other factors as well. That when these tournaments would get underway, the pit is occupied with the PBR, the bull riding. Right. So, and that is a strong appeal of New Mexico, is the possibility of having a nice crowd in a home environment for a game. So, yeah, what are the options there if you do choose to play a home game? Yep. The Santa Ana Star Center, the Johnson Center, there are other venues, but all this, we're just thinking out loud what the possibilities might be. And again, it might be as a year ago. Maybe the season comes to an end with this loss here today. You're locked into the Lobo Basketball post-game show from the Thomas and Mack Center in Las Vegas. Remember, fans, Bank of the West, they continue their commitment to Lobos, and they sponsor the three-point basket. Following every game, they donate to Special Olympics of New Mexico. For more than 20 years now, Bank of the West has contributed over $100,000 to Special Olympics of New Mexico as part of its proud commitment to Lobo athletics. Lobos fall 64-62. Time for us to take a timeout. When we come back after the break, more in store on the Lobo Basketball post-game report. New Mexico falls 64-62. It is Lobo Basketball from Learfield.
Love lives at a hospital focused on getting you back on your feet. Love lives where high tech and high touch go hand in hand, and at every ER, physician's office, and healthcare facility known as Loveless. We're 1,200 physicians, 22 specialties, 18 clinics, and 6 hospitals, all with a single goal: to provide the highest level of compassionate care to every patient every single day. We're Loveless Health System, and we're here for you and your family today, tomorrow, and always. Call 727-2727 to find a doctor today.
Albuquerque, where everyone's a Lobo. And for over 27 years, the 5 Larry H. Miller dealerships, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Toyota, and Hyundai, have been howling for the Lobos and serving our local community. Larry H. Miller dealerships give generously to local women and children's charities and are proud sponsors of our Lobos football and basketball programs. Join us in howling for the Lobos and all 5 Larry H. Miller dealerships, driven by you.
For over 75 years, Geico's been about consistency, as in we've consistently helped people save money on their car insurance. And to prove it, we'll air one of our first radio commercials from over 75 years ago.
At Geico, we're all about consistency, as in we consistently help people save money on their car insurance. To prove it, you can call Geico. Call us today, call us tomorrow, call us 75 years from now.
That was way more consistent than I expected.
Geico, saving people money for over 75 years.
Around here, cherry and silver are more than just colors. And New Mexico is more than just a university. It's home. At Quicken Loans, we get that. We know there's power in being part of the home team. It's why our home loan experts treat you like family, provide you with the latest mortgage technology, and make you feel at home. Proud mortgage partner of New Mexico Athletics. Call 800-QUICKEN or go to QuickenLoans.com. Equal housing lender, licensed in all 50 states, NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 3030.
It's Malloy Dodge Madness now during Ram Truck Month. Are the other guys charging too much? Technical foul. Our 2016 Ram 1500s are up to $11,000 off. Get your fast break in a 2016 Dodge Dart, just $194 a month. Get $4,000 cash back on a new Dodge Journey, or drive it away for just $250 a month. Nothing but net and savings at Malloy Dodge on Coors. Deal.
All offers and rebates must meet certain specific qualifications to receive incentives. More information at MalloyDodge.com/promo-info or see dealer for details.
At Verizon, we think choosing a wireless plan shouldn't be complicated. So, we're introducing one simple plan. Just pick the size that works best for you. From small, medium, large, and extra large. Add a phone for $20 a month plus taxes and fees, then switch it up whenever you want. Unlimited talk and text are even included. The simple way to get the best network. Verizon. Learn more at vzw.com. Smartphone device payment activation required. Subject to Verizon wireless agreements, calling plan, and credit approval. Coverage details at verizonwireless.com.
Back courtside inside the Thomas and Mack Center on the Lobo basketball post-game report. New Mexico falls to Nevada 64-62. Big thank you to Andrew. I had forgotten, and he reminds, listing in, the CIT is for mid-majors only. The Lobos will not be in that. But the CBI remains a possibility. Certainly the new tournament right here in Vegas, the Vegas 16, is a possibility for New Mexico, potentially, if they want to extend their season. Those have with them associated costs, and as you mentioned, Hunter, time will tell whether or not it is a team ready to play another basketball game, and if indeed that is what the Lobos want to do. Final score today in the quarterfinals: Nevada, the 5 seed, beats New Mexico, the 4 seed, 64-62. It was a very tight game throughout. The Lobos never led by more than 6. Nevada never led by more than 5. It was back and forth, and the Lobos fall here today in Sin City. All right, let's give a listen to one of our highlights here post-game. Let's go with our State Farm assist of the game. Today's game full of clutch plays, exciting passes, one assist stands out from the rest. It's your State Farm assist of the game, brought to you by State Farm. We exist to assist. Smallest guy on the court won that rebound. They leave EB for a right wing three, and he got it. Another find by Jake. Fourth time by Jacobs, and Elijah Brown with 22.
Nevada turned their back on Elijah, didn't realize he was wide open. Tim Jacobs finds him, knocks down the three. EB.
Very well could be the final game in a Lobo uniform for senior Tim Jacobs, the preferred walk-on who has been such an important contributor for New Mexico for the past 2 years. That fourth and final assist on the day for Jake. He did make a big 3-ball as well in the first half and had 5 rebounds, but that assist there on the Elijah Brown 3 is your State Farm assist of the game. State Farm, we exist to assist. You know, Jacobs' minutes were critical in this game.
I thought he came in and added a lot of energy, pushed the ball up the floor. He got 4 assists in 18 minutes.
There it is, your State Farm assist of the game. New Mexico falls here 64-62 to Nevada, the quarterfinals of the Mountain West Tournament in Vegas. All right, time for us to step aside once again. Still tons to do. From Sin City, we've got our Delta Dental coaches' comments. We select our P&M Reliable Player of the Game and Subway Sub of the Game. Stay tuned. More to come from the Thomas and Mack. Lobos fall to Nevada 64-62. This is Lobo basketball from Learfield.
What was your New Year's resolution?
To keep things simple.
Well, then you'll love the Simple 6 menu at Subway restaurants. It's 6 classic 6-inch subs plus chips and a 21-ounce fountain drink for just $6 each.
Sounds simple enough.
And it's popular subs like sweet onion chicken teriyaki, turkey breast, and more. Then just add chips and a 21-ounce fountain drink for a simple $6 meal.
I might actually keep my resolution this year.
Subway, founded on fresh. Limited time only. Prices and participation may vary. Additional charge for extras and deluxe, plus tax were applicable. Prepared fresh.
At Verizon, we think choosing a wireless plan shouldn't be complicated. So, we're introducing one simple plan. Just pick the size that works best for you. From small, medium, large, and extra large. Add a phone for $20 a month plus taxes and fees, then switch it up whenever you want. Unlimited talk and text are even included. The simple way to get the best network. Verizon. Learn more at vzw.com. Smartphone device payment activation required. Subject to Verizon wireless agreements, calling plan, and credit approval. Coverage details at verizonwireless.com.
At Creamland Dairies, they're passionate about the purity and freshness of their milk. That's why they subject Creamland Dairy Pure to rigorous testing in order to meet their 5-point purity promise. It's what keeps their milk so pure, fresh, and delicious from farm to fridge. And why Creamland Dairy's Pure and Creamland's True Moo are names you can trust. Starts pure, stays pure. When you want the best, it's Creamland Dairy Pure. Go Lobos!
The Afternoon Sports Bar.
That whole scenario's been trying to put a round hole in a square peg.
You said it's like trying to put a round hole in a square peg.
Oh, well, how does it go?
You said trying to put the hole in the peg. You put the peg in the hole. It doesn't matter which one's round, which one's square.
Damn it, another Trujilloism.
On the plus side, this is probably why there are no little Trujillo.
The Afternoon Sports Bar with Michael and Mike. Weekday afternoons at 3 on 610. The Sports Animal.
We're back at the Thomas and Mack Center in Las Vegas from Buffalo Wild Wings Radio Row and the Lobo Basketball postgame show. New Mexico drops the 64-62 decision to Nevada in the quarterfinals of the Mountain West Tournament, and the Lobos are eliminated in their first game of the event for a second consecutive year. It remains to be seen whether a potential CBI or Las Vegas 16 could be down the road for New Mexico as far as postseason action is concerned. All right, time to select our PNM Reliable Player of the Game. He was a consensus first-team All-Mountain West selection. He was the consensus Mountain West Newcomer of the Year. And tonight, Elijah Brown scored 26 points on 6 of 15 field goal shooting, 4 for 8 from 3, and 10 of 11 at the free throw line. He had 7 rebounds and 2 assists. Elijah would remind you that he had 7 turnovers as well, and he was not pleased with that, I'm sure. But Elijah Brown, without question, is your PNM Reliable Player of the Game. Lobos post up T-Dub left wing. They whip it out to EB for an angle right 3. Great ball movement. It was T-Dub to Logwood, and then Sam found him for the triple. 15-19 to go here in the first half. Lobos 41, Nevada 37. So Elijah Brown there, 26 points, wrapping up with a triple in his final game of the year potentially. He was 4 for 8 from deep, 10 for 11 from the line, and 6 for 15 from the floor. Elijah Brown, your PNM Reliable Player of the Game. Here for you and all of New Mexico. Reliable people, reliable partner in our communities, reliable power nationally. PNM ranks consistently among the best for keeping the lights on. Elijah Brown is your PNM Reliable Player of the Game. So, Hunter, EB, big time. We've got the UNLV out warming up. The big fella Zimmerman.
Yep.
Is getting loose. He is certainly an impact type of guy. You think that's a first-round pick?
Maybe. He could play in the NBA, no question. I mean, I'm just not sure if he's ready yet or what kind of training he's going to go through this summer. I mean, but he's got the skills. He can knock down the jump shot. He's long, and so
time will tell.
Yeah, I mean, they draft on potential anyway, right?
No question. 16 made free throws for the Lobos today. Legacy Church donates $5 for every free throw made to Special Olympics of New Mexico. Legacy Church, where people experience life change. Visit legacychurch.com for more info on service times and programs offered at one of their 4 locations. Today's game, the Lobos made those 16 free throws, and New Mexico, with those 16 free throws made, Legacy Church makes the donation of $80 to Special Olympics of New Mexico. Lobos, by the way, 16 out of 20 They were 16 out of 20 from the foul line here today, Hunter. And at 80%, you like that number, but you'd have thought that they might have gotten to the line a bit more there in the second half because they reached the double bonus at the 8.5-minute mark, and yet they maybe didn't get to the line as much as they wanted.
Right. And that's been a struggle. I mean, I think New Mexico, at times, you get to the bonus early, 8-10 minutes left in the first half or second half, and you don't take advantage of it. Either try to get it inside where Tim Williams can get to the line, or draw up a play where Elijah can at least try to penetrate and get fouled, or put the guys in situations so they can get to the free throw line. And I think that's important. Unfortunately, New Mexico wasn't able to take advantage of it here this afternoon.
Time for us to take a timeout. Still to come, the Delta Dental coaches' comments. Also, our Subway sub of the game. The Lobos fall in the quarterfinals to Nevada. Final score, Wolfpack 64, New Mexico 62. You're listening to Lobo Basketball from Learfield.
Say, Bobby, what's you up to, sport?
Howdy, 50s era announcer guy. I'm just building my new treehouse out here in the backyard.
Swell. However, do you think it's safe to build it so close to those power lines? Maybe it's time you went online to learn more about electrical safety from your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Learn more about the power of your co-op membership at togetherwesave.com.
Touchstone Energy Cooperatives of New Mexico. Our people power is something you can always count on. Learn more at togetherwesave.com.
Put a quarter in the jukebox. Come get your kicks again. Route 66 Casino Hotel is New Mexico's favorite destination for gaming, food, fun, and excitement. There's a whole lot of thrills and chills, a whole lot of flavors. So do yourself a favor. Come on over, baby. There's a whole lot of kicking going on. Only at Route 66 Casino Hotel, just 15 minutes west of downtown on I-40. Visit rt66casino.com for details.
What was your New Year's resolution?
To keep things simple.
Well, then you'll love the Simple Six menu at Subway restaurants. It's 6 classic 6-inch subs plus chips and a 21-ounce fountain drink for just $6 each.
Sounds simple enough.
And it's popular subs like sweet onion chicken teriyaki, turkey breast, and more. Then just add chips and a 21-ounce fountain drink for a simple $6 meal.
I might actually keep my resolution this year.
Subway, founded on fresh. Limited time only. Prices and participation may vary. Additional charge for extras and deluxe, plus tax where applicable. Prepared fresh.
Mommy, what does that sign say?
Did you know that almost half of adult New Mexicans have difficulty reading or can barely read at all? Roadside signs, medicine bottles, job applications, menus, or kids' schoolwork. The inability to read makes life a struggle. If you are struggling with reading or writing, you are not alone. Call the New Mexico Coalition for Literacy and ask about free private one-to-one tutoring. If you can read, volunteer to tutor. Call 1-800-233-7587 or go to nmcl.org. What does the sign say? It says, change your life.
We're back inside the Thomas and Mack Center, courtside, Buffalo Wild Wings Radio Row. The Lobos fall today 64-62 to Nevada in the quarterfinals of the Mountain West Conference Tournament. New Mexico is eliminated here this afternoon. All right, time to select our Subway sub of the game. It is brought to you by Subway of New Mexico. Subway restaurants keep you going on and off the court. Stop in today. And he was the sub of the game. He was the sub of the season. He was the best the Lobos had off the bench throughout the year, Hunter. It is none other than Xavier Adams. X scored just 2 points, but he did all the things that he does. He had 3 rebounds. He had 1 assist. He had significant hustle plays and energy plays, and he was involved in a little fracas as well. But that just shows the attitude, the intensity that he brings off the Lobo bench. Xavier Adams, congratulations to him. He is your Subway sub of the game. What X has done this season, playing as an undersized 4 off the Lobo bench, Hunter, really is very remarkable, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, let's just face it. I mean, X has some strengths, and they're not necessarily, in the shooting as a skill set, but his strength is his energy, his effort, his toughness that he brings to the team and he brings off the bench. So always needed throughout the game, and he brings it. Count on him to take at least 1 charge a game. Xavier Adams.
So Xavier Adams is your Subway sub of the game. Still to come, the Delta Dental coach's comments, as we'll talk with Lobo headman Craig Neal. Might be a little bit longer to have Coach Neal join us today.
Mountain West
Right, because the Mountain West Conference holds its official press conferences. It is required that every team provide both the coach and at least 2 players post-game. So there is a ton that they have to do. And remember, the winning team always goes first. So it was Coach Musselman and 2 Nevada players before Coach Neal was able to get to the podium with 2 Lobo players. So that's why it will take a bit longer for us to get Coach Neal here tonight in the Thomas and Mack Center. Lobos fall by the 64-62 count. Hey, fans, remember, there's just one place in Nob Hill for the true sports bar experience. It is Gioco. Gioco is all about sports. Wall-to-wall TVs. Every local and national team that you root for. A delicious menu of artisanal pizza and mouth-watering burgers. A full bar and a fabulous beer selection. The Nob Hill sports lovers' home is Gioco Sports Bar. It's also the home of our overtime call-in show with Scott Stigler. And that you can catch always post-game on 770 KKOB, our flagship station. Scott is at the ready in Gioco Sports Bar in Nob Hill, and he will join you for the call-in show. Take your calls as soon as we are wrapped up here from the Thomas and Mack Center. So, still to come, the Delta Dental coach's comments with Lobo headman Craig Neal from the Thomas and Mack. We're going to take a timeout here. When we come back, Hunter and I will give you some final totals, look at all the scoring, all the individual and team totals here in this quarterfinal matchup between Nevada and New Mexico, and we await Coach Neal as well. Nevada 64, New Mexico 62 is the final. Back after this, it's Lobo basketball from Learfield.
Whether you're a quarterback in football, a forward in basketball, or a goalie in soccer, when you play any sport, you should always wear a mouthguard to protect your teeth. A healthy smile leads to healthy lives. And with Delta Dental, it's never been easier to cover your mouth. Delta Dental gives you easy access to New Mexico's largest network of dentists. Choose our coverage today because good oral health is essential to a healthy life. Visit our website at deltadentalnm.com.
What's the first thing you think of when you hear New Mexico Mutual? Local experts in workers' comp coverage, right? Well, did you know that New Mexico Mutual also provides free safety education and resources that can actually help reduce the occurrence of workplace accidents? And when you can prevent accidents, you can keep productivity up and your company costs down. That's why so many New Mexico businesses, big and small, think of New Mexico Mutual first. And with New Mexico Mutual, your premium dollars stay local. Ask your agent today about New Mexico Mutual. Coverage at work.
At Verizon, we think choosing a wireless plan shouldn't be complicated. So, we're introducing one simple plan. Just pick the size that works best for you. From small, medium, large, and extra large. Add a phone for $20 a month plus taxes and fees, then switch it up whenever you want. Unlimited talk and text are even included. The simple way to get the best network. Verizon. Learn more at vzw.com. Smartphone device payment activation required. Subject to Verizon Wireless agreements, calling plan, and credit approval. Coverage details at verizonwireless.com.
There's only one place in Nob Hill for the true sports bar experience, and that's Gioco. At Gioco, we're all about sports. Sports means wall-to-wall TVs showing every local and national team you root for. Sports means our delicious menu of artisanal pizza and mouth-watering burgers. The menu is stuffed with your favorite apps, from deep-fried chicken wings to our famous Carne Adobada nachos. Sports means our full bar and fabulous beer selection will never leave you thirsty. At last, the Nob Hill sports lover has a home. Gioco Sports Bar, 4310 Central Avenue Southeast.
Welcome back courtside inside the Thomas and Mack Center in Las Vegas. The Lobos have fallen to Nevada 64-62. Big thank you to Frank Mercogliano, the Lobo head sports information director. He has received an email from someone associated with the CIT, and while it is a very much a mid-major type of event, it is not restricted to just mid-major teams. While it is a non-BCS, quote BCS, that means that they do not have teams from any of the Power 5 conferences, from the Resource 5, if you will. The CIT has had Air Force in it. And CIT is an option. It is possible that the Lobos could play in the CIT. So thanks to Andrew for being interested and on top of it. Thanks for Frank's clarification and an official word on that. We appreciate that. So it is an option. And we'll just stay tuned on all of that stuff because the postseason possibilities at this point, just minutes after a loss, are just all speculation for now. And we're just throwing out the possibilities for Lobo fans to see what potentially could come of a New Mexico postseason opportunity. Yeah. What is your thought process on that, Hunter, in terms of you have a very young team, getting an opportunity to play another game or two or however many, depending on how big the field is, certainly. You can put a price tag on that. They do put a price tag on that, in fact. But how much is that worth? What is the, from where you sit, and a team that now sits at 17 and 15 and struggled at the end of the year, certainly. They have lost 5 of their last 6, right? And so yeah. What do you think?
And you bring up a good point because you do have a young team. There's an opportunity to continue to play and improve. And at what point do you just say enough's enough? Because these guys have actually been going since August. I mean, they've been here, in Albuquerque, the guys get in town. And then, of course, they practice before school starts. School starts, they start training, and then official practice starts in October. And they've been going and grinding. So, only Coach Neal knows what his team has left in the gas tank. And but you do bring up a good point because you do have a young enough team. There's an opportunity to improve. Do you take advantage of it and accept an invitation to one of these tournaments?
Right.
So,
Jeff Grammer, by the way, the beat writer for the Journal that covers the Lobos, tweeted just a few minutes ago from his personal account that he was told by a UNM official that the CBI was the plan following the Mountain West tournament if it wasn't going to be the NCAA tournament.
Okay.
But he planned to ask again at the press conference following the game. So it's something that we'll bring up with Coach Neal when we have him as well and see if, in fact, that is the case, that the Lobos would continue on and play at a postseason event, and if what Jeff says is true, that the CBI is the one that would be the most likely spot for that. All right, let's take a peek at some of the final totals here, some of the final statistics in this one. How about some team numbers first? Nevada shoots 40% from the field and 28% from distance, 4 of 14. They shoot 63% at the line, 12 out of 19. New Mexico shoots 35.8% from the floor, 19 out of 53, and 40% from deep, 8 out of 20. They shoot 16 of 20 at the foul line, that is 80%. Points in the paint, Nevada dominates, 36-20, and that's primarily Cameron Oliver, the true freshman. The turnovers, points off of turnovers, 16-12 for New Mexico. The Lobos did take much better care of the ball in the second half than they did in the first, Hunter. In fact, after turning it over 9 times in the first half, they only turned it over 4 in the second half. So they did a better job of that. Second chance points, Nevada wins that battle 13-11. Fast break points, Nevada 8 and UNM 7. Bench points, Nevada 6 and New Mexico 5. The score was tied 9 times. The lead changed 16 times. The Lobos, they had their biggest lead of 6. And Nevada's biggest lead was 5. It was that kind of game. Neither team could get any separation throughout the entire night.
Yeah, I thought the difference was the points in the paint. I mean, these guys, Nevada got, not only did Oliver score in the paint, but Tyrone Criswell. I mean, he was 8 for 9, and he was in there. He had 20 points, and I thought he scored a ton of points inside. That was a difference. And, of course, the rebounding in the second half. They out-rebounded us 40-37, but they had 12 offensive boards. So I think those are really the difference in the second half primarily. There was a little push by the Lobos. Of course, Tim had 2 points in the first half, had 10 points in the second half, had 12 points total, but it just wasn't enough.
7 offensive rebounds in the second half. 7 offensive rebounds for Nevada in the second half. They had 5 in the first half, and they won that battle, that offensive rebounding battle, 7-3 in the second half. So that was definitely big, and there's no doubt it was the work of 2 guys. Let's not forget, even though he only scored 2 points, right? He only scored 2 points, but Elijah Foster had 11 rebounds in this one. And
4 offensive boards.
4 offensive. Yeah. And when you think about it, Obacha Jet not being on the court, not being able to give the Lobos the minutes, and I told you so a little bit. It's something that we talked about, that I pointed out, Hunter, that maybe the biggest number on the entire score sheet for the Lobos would be the minutes played for O, and just how much floor time he could give them. And he only played 14 minutes here tonight because of his struggles with foul trouble. He got 2 fouls just 2 minutes into the game, didn't play any more in the first half, and then was only out there for limited minutes in the second half before fouling out. And O did not have a point today and just 2 rebounds.
And when he goes out, we get real small. We're going with Xavier Adams, and so that's the difference. That was really the difference here this afternoon.
All right, let's get a bonus break. We're going to have some extra time, it appears, on this post-game show before Coach Neal comes out. So let's take a break. The Lobos fall to Nevada. 64-62 is the final score. Nevada eliminates New Mexico in the quarterfinals of the Mountain West Tournament. We're live courtside from Buffalo Wild Wings Radio Row in the Thomas and Mack Center. And you're tuned to Lobo basketball from Learfield.
Albuquerque Tents, the official tent provider of UNM Athletics, is your trusted tents provider. We offer professional, quality party and special event products you need for special events at an affordable price. We pride ourselves on service, value, and cost savings for all your special events. Any size, anytime, anywhere. Call Albuquerque Tents today at 505-873-6190 or check us out on the web at albuquerquetents.com. Albuquerque Tents, we are happy to be a part of your event.
At Bank of the West, we know that there's a lot you can do when you put your mind to it. Run a 10K, learn to play the piano, or move into your own home. Which is why we want to lend a hand as you tackle the mortgage process and get you into that new home ASAP. So when you're ready to set your mind to buying a home or refinancing the one you have, stop by your local Bank of the West. Our mortgage bankers are here to help you take advantage of current low interest rates. It's another reason to go West. Bank of the West.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Loan subject to credit approval.
Welcome back inside the Thomas and Mack Center in Las Vegas. Lobos fall to the Nevada Wolfpack. 64-62 is your final score here. New Mexico drops the quarterfinal matchup and is eliminated from the conference tournament here on the second day of play in the men's bracket. Advancing to the semifinals tomorrow night against San Diego State is the Nevada Wolfpack. The Wolfpack are 19-12. The Lobos fall to 17-15. New Mexico was 10-8 in conference play during the regular year, and they lose in the first opportunity in this quarterfinal matchup here in the tournament in Vegas. A second straight season where New Mexico falls in its first game in the conference tournament here in the Thomas and Mack Center. Still waiting for Coach Neal for our Delta Dental coach's comments live courtside from Buffalo Wild Wings Radio Row. You're down in the Lobo basketball postgame show. And Hunter, a couple of different angles I'd like to look at, and let's get some individual numbers and then a couple things I wanted to ask you about. We'll start on the New Mexico side. Elijah Brown, he scores 26 points today. So 26 points for EB. We were tracking Elijah's ascent to the top of the ranks in single season scoring, and Elijah had one of the greatest individual and single seasons in Lobo basketball history. EB came into today with 668 points, and Elijah scored 26 more today. So EB finishes just shy. He comes up just short of the magical 700 number. He would have been the fourth ever to get there. Elijah Brown scores 694 for a career, and he is going to tie Cameron Bairstow. Exactly. Yeah. He's going to tie Cameron Bairstow exactly for fourth all-time in Lobo basketball history with 694 points. So how about that? Bairstow from 2013-2014 when he averaged just over 20 a game. Elijah this season averaging 21 and a half a game coming into today. And EB with his 26 tonight will sit exactly at 694. The only three with more. Kenny Page, the all-time leader, 784 and 7980. Reuben Douglas, 783, 2002, 2003. And then you, Hunter, had the 740 in the 86-87 season. And Cam Bairstow and Elijah Brown sit right behind you in fourth place all time.
Yeah, well, those guys now, I mean, it's interesting. I mean, I look at those records. When I played, of course, we had the three-point line for a couple of years. And, of course, the guys that played before me, Willie Long, Marvin Johnson, those guys, they didn't have the luxury of having a three-point line. So all these records are going to be changing and breaking because, you look at the season this year, Elijah's played 32 games. And they haven't gone to a postseason. I mean, so the guys are playing more games. They've got the three-point line. And guys are playing more as freshmen. I mean, even before Marvin Johnson and Kenny Page, I mean, freshmen weren't allowed to play. So things are changing, and the guys are breaking records every year.
We're courtside on Buffalo Wild Wings Radio Row, inside the Thomas and Mack Center on the Lobo Basketball post-game show. As we go through some of the final individual statistics, we already gave you some team totals. Elijah Brown with the 26 points, 6 of 15 from the floor, 4 of 8 from distance, and 10 of 11 from the line. He had 7 rebounds and 2 assists. And Elijah also today with a game-high 7 turnovers. He had 2 steals as well. The number 2 scorer for New Mexico today was Sam Logwood, 16 points for Logwood. That's a season high. 6 of 11 field, 2 of 3 distance, 2 of 2 at the line, 5 rebounds and an assist for Logwood. He also had a block and a steal. Double figures for Tim Williams, but T-Dub was largely controlled, especially in the first half, Hunter, when Williams had just 2 points. He was 1 of 6 from the field. He did get it going in the second half. Tim finishes with a dozen points for the game, 5 of 12 field overall. Did not attempt a 3. He went 2 of 5 from the line, had 8 rebounds to lead his team, had 1 assist. Williams also had 2 blocks today. The Lobos also got 3 points from Cullen Neal. He made 1 3 and 5 attempts. He was 1 of 9 from the field, and Neal had 1 assist and 3 turnovers, also 2 steals. 3 points for Tim Jacobs. He made his only 3. He had 5 rebounds and 4 assists off the bench at the point. 2 points for Xavier Adams. He got both of those at the line, had 3 rebounds and an assist. That rounds out the Lobos scoring. The player of the game, unquestionably, was the freshman Cameron Oliver for Nevada. 26 points on 11 of 21 floor, 1 of 3 distance, 3 of 5 at the line, had 15 rebounds. Oliver also had 4 blocks, including the one that sealed the game at the end when he swatted away the Cullen Neal 3-point attempt in the closing moments. He also had 1 steal. Criswell had 20 points for a second straight game against the Lobos, as Tyron Criswell went for 20 in Reno last weekend. 8 of 9 field, 4 of 6 line. That's the free throw line. Didn't attempt a 3. 3 boards, 2 assists for Criswell. He also had 1 steal. Rounding out the scoring for Nevada, Fenner scored 7. He was just 2 of 12 from the field. Cooper had 6. He was 1 of 9 from the field, but he hit the 1 huge 3. 1 of 5 from 3, but he hit that 27-footer over there from the left angle. That was a very big one. He also had 1 rebound. 3 points for Drew, 2 points for Foster. Foster did his work on the boards. 11 rebounds. 4 of those, as you pointed out, Hunter, were offensive. So Foster impacted the game on the glass. Also had a block and a steal. So those are the individual numbers in a game that New Mexico is going to look back, probably at a couple of plays down the stretch. If they could have made them differently, might have had a chance to take on San Diego State tomorrow night.
Yeah, it was a couple of key turnovers. I mean, out of a timeout when they turned it over and didn't even get a shot attempt. And then, of course, the block shot on Cullen Neal, that was huge. Not even getting a shot attempt, not even getting to the rim on that one. So those are key moments for the Lobos down the stretch, and weren't able to convert and score, and they were missed opportunities.
So, Coach Neal has finished with his presser. He is doing TV right now, and once he's finished up with TV, he will come out and join us here courtside on Buffalo Wild Wings Radio Row in the Thomas and Mack. Let's take another bonus break. A bonus timeout on your Lobo basketball post-game show. New Mexico falls in the Mountain West quarterfinals to Nevada Wolfpack. Nevada 64, UNM 62 to final. We return after this. It's Lobo basketball from Learfield.
You wouldn't put an elephant down the drain. You already know it would get stuck and make the sewer back up. And we've told you not to put grease down the drain because it could get stuck and make the sewer back up. Now there's one more thing to remember. Disposable wipes don't belong down the drain either, even so-called flushable ones. Like grease, wipes can cause sewer overflows. Grease and wipes belong in the trash, not the drain. Elephants, meanwhile, belong in the jungle. A message from the Water Authority.
B-Dubs presents B-Dubbing.
Beautiful day to be out here on the course, enjoying
A Big Jack Daddy Burger at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Here's Callahan, stepping up for
Delicious cheddar cheese curds.
Oh, he's been brilliant today.
And he really likes the roasted garlic mushrooms. Enjoy an ever-changing limited-time offering menu at Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
Join us for happy hour Monday through Friday, 2 to 7 and 10 to close. For drinks starting at $3 and $4 shareables. Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
Back at the Thomas and Mack Center in Las Vegas, where the Lobos fall 64 to 62 to Nevada in the quarterfinals of the Mountain West tournament. Let's take a glimpse at the season as a whole, Hunter, and pick out some of our highlights from the year, because there were many.
Yeah.
The year does not close, at least the Mountain West basketball tournament does not close the way that the Lobos had hoped. There could be some postseason activity coming, perhaps in the CBI. But I want to go back to a stretch right at the start of conference play. Now, the Lobos had a really good run in non-conference play that included a sweep once again of New Mexico State. They won very early in non-conference play. In fact, it was the second game of the year at New Mexico State, 83 to 74, and then beat them again just a month later in December in Albuquerque, 79 to 61. The Lobos had ripped off 4 out of 5 wins, and then they hit the skids. And it started with that game they let get away at home against Rice, 90-89. And maybe there was a carryover, maybe there wasn't. New Mexico had a great opportunity to beat an SEC team in Auburn in the Diamond Head Classic on Oahu, and couldn't make the plays down the stretch. Lost 83-78. And then there was definitely a letdown, the 2 losses to BYU and Washington State. But how they started off conference play, I thought, was a real testament to their character, and they ripped off double-digit wins back-to-back against Nevada, Fresno State, and Utah State. Very impressive, all of those.
Oh, yeah. Going back to preseason, before they started the Diamond Head Classic, maybe they got a little full of themselves. They ran 4 in a row, and then Rice took Rice too lightly. I mean, and Rice really, to be honest with you, they surprised me as well. I mean, they really shot the ball well coming into the pit, and that loss may have been a little carryover to going into Hawaii, but I thought that the effort was great against Auburn. I thought they left it all on the court, and almost to the point to where they didn't have anything left in the gas tank going against BYU, where they actually lost by 30. BYU just played great basketball. They shot the ball well. I think they had record threes, but and then when we talk about getting back on track against a conference play, going up against Nevada. Going to Fresno, or playing at home against Nevada, going to Fresno, Utah, winning 3 in a row to begin conference play. It wasn't until the end of conference play, kind of like the mid-month of February, when they kind of hit the skids.
I was going to say, you hit us something, I think. The Auburn game, remember, the Lobos played 3 straight games. First game in the morning, every day that they were in there. They played 3 out of 4 days in that tournament in Hawaii. And you talked about how they might have gotten run down.
Yeah, very difficult. I mean,
the starters. Look at the minutes for the starters in that first game in Honolulu. 38 for Neal, 35 for Elijah, 34 for O, Williams, and Logwood. I mean, there's definitely something to that.
Yeah, and I thought Coach Neal probably thought he really had a good shot at beating Auburn. And so
he went after
him, which I don't blame him. And then after that, you kind of just, you really didn't have much left. And at that time, he really wasn't playing the bench. Your freshmen weren't playing very many minutes. And so with that kind of minutes and that kind of play in 3 days, and like you said, they were playing at 8 o'clock every morning because they stayed in that loser's bracket.
That's tough.
Very difficult, very hard to do.
And it seemed like that start time for that game, it got a little earlier each time. It feel like that.
I remember, I think it was Christmas Day or so. We were driving over there. It was like 6:30 in the morning.
Yep.
And it was rainy. It was dark. And I was like, man, can't we just win to get out of this so we can play later?
Right.
Yep. So, yeah, it was tough. And it's very difficult. Even here in this Mountain West Conference tournament, I always think, and I look back at Alford's teams where he had a strong bench. You have to have a strong bench when you're going to compete in a tournament like this when you're playing back to back to back. I mean, because your starters can't give, if they're playing 38 minutes a game in 3 days, I mean, it didn't happen. By the time they hit the quarterfinals the semifinals and the finals, there's just nothing left.
So New Mexico drops this decision here in the Mountain West quarterfinals. The final, Nevada 64 and the Lobos 62. That 3-game run at the start of league play, it almost was such a complete reset on the entire year, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
And it raised the expectations for what this young team could possibly do through the roof. Maybe a little too far.
I think that
happened so good.
I think that happened all year. They would make runs or they'd have a great game, and we think, wait a minute. I mean, this could be, we could really be good. I mean, better than average. Let's put it that way. And then of course they'd be a letdown. But because they're young and they had some success, we really thought they'd be better than good team. And then this year, I think they at the end of the day, they're actually where we thought they would be. Although they finished 4th in conference, they were predicted to be 6th. That's about where this team was predicted to be because of the youth and so many new guys, so many new pieces. I mean, forget about just players. You got new coaches, on the staff, and guys are trying to learn one another, and it's always difficult to try to bring that together so quickly in one season.
That stretch at the start of conference play that we talked about when New Mexico beat Nevada 88-76, won at Fresno State 77-62. That was an eye-opener because Fresno State is such an experienced team. And now, at the end of the year, we know just how good Fresno State is. They're the 2 seed in this tournament, and they're about to take the court right here against UNLV in a few minutes. The Lobos also routed Utah State at home 77-59 to go 3-0 to start the league. And, we just talked about expectations going through the roof with that great run. New Mexico would do it again, and it wasn't that long after. They won 4 consecutive games, 4 straight. The Lobos won in league play in the middle of the conference schedule. San Jose State, Air Force, Boise State, and UNLV. And at that time, the Lobos had a great opportunity. They were 7-2 in conference play. We're courtside on Buffalo Wild Wings Radio Row, inside the Thomas and Mack Center here in Las Vegas. It's time for our Delta Dental coaches' comments. We welcome in Lobo headman Craig Neal. Coach Neal, the finish of the game, just a couple of plays here or there. This game was so tight from start to finish.
Well, I think the biggest thing is they came out with the mindset that they were going to try to take O out of the game. And pretty good philosophy in the sense that O's been played really good basketball against them the first 2 games, and really was the reason why we've been so successful against them defensively and offensively. But he got in foul trouble, played 2 minutes in the first half, then X got 2 fouls, and then we had to go with really different lineups, and that we haven't done in a while. But we're down 1 1/2, and then came out, had aggression, played well, did some things, but the bottom line is just like I told the team, I go, guys, we were right there. There was 3 loose balls down there, 4 offensive rebounds, and then we had 4 turnovers in the last 5 minutes, and you can't do that and win a close ball game in a tournament.
Coach Neal, a couple of things. The performance of Cameron Oliver, I know he's a player that you said you liked a lot.
Right.
He really, it was a phenomenal effort that he gave Nevada here tonight.
Well, I just think they went right at us, and he made some shots and got some confidence, and we didn't get him out of his rhythm. And he had some, he had 4 big blocks. He had a block at the end of the game that sealed it, and then we had some opportunities. We just didn't show any resistance to him tonight that we've had in the games past, and it's not. O caused him problems with length, but O just kind of there wasn't much resistance, and then Tim, but we just didn't make the plays we needed to make offensively and defensively.
So when Abasha Jet goes out, you guys get real small.
Real small.
And I think that's where, when watching the game, a guy like Tyron Criswell, this guy 8 for 9, and really, Coach, when I look at it, these guys scored 36 of their points in the painted area. It seemed like Abasha's not there, so that intimidation and the shot blocker, and a lot of times it seems like guys are relying on him to do that instead of just moving their feet, playing defense straight up.
Makes a big difference, Hunter. Makes a big difference, and you mentioned Criswell. It's evident because he had 4 points in the first half, ends up with 20. And they were all drives, all second chance points, all things on the rim where, we can't allow that to be the team that we're capable of being defensively. And, that's one of those things where we didn't make the plays late. And we had some bad turnovers. We took some bad shots. We got Tim Williams going, and we just, we kind of went away from that. Even though we were trying to get to that. But we had, the Cooper kid's 0 for 8. Makes a big 3 and then puts them up 1. All we have to do is get a stop right there, but we don't do it, and that's sad because I thought our guys were really in a mindset to make a really good run and to have a legit shot at this thing, and we just didn't make enough plays offensively or defensively.
Take us through a couple of the sequences there at the finish, and let's just start with the play that ended up with Cullen and a look at a 3, and Oliver made a terrific play. What would you like to have seen unfold there in that last possession?
Tim Williams was open, and that's what the play was for. Tim Williams was open. We didn't get it to him, and it just moved around, and then, Cullen probably should have shot fake, but he didn't know how much time was left. He had a pretty good knowledge, but I think he might have been able to shot fake, but then you don't know who's coming. Sometimes you see him late. It's Oliver. He's the leading shot blocker in the league, so that just happened.
We thought that Tim might have been the option. It also looked like Elijah had an opportunity here on the wing if he'd wanted. He could have pulled a 3 earlier in the possession.
Yeah, it was to try to go inside because we had to go to Tim, and we had some things, and we just didn't make the plays that we talked about, that we drew up, that we talked about in timeouts. We just didn't do those plays. We had a lot of plays with guys trying to do things that's not their strengths and not what their role is, and that's what hurts you. And that's what happens. I thought our guys were a little anxious. I thought, not being here for the first time together, I thought they were a little anxious and had 3 straight turnovers to start the game. And when you get off to a bad start like that, down 7-2, and you're only down 1 1/2, and the only reason why we were down 1 1/2 is because Oliver banked in a 3. So, but all in all, really disappointed. Just I feel bad for the kids, but we had some We had some minutes tonight, had some stretches where we played really good basketball. Got up 5, had a chance to go up 7, and took another. I mean, we took, we just didn't take shots when you got to be so disciplined and really, really locked in when you're ahead. When you're ahead, it's not a time to get creative and get crazy. That's when you got to be more solid and more disciplined.
Tim Jacobs, he played his last Mountain West tournament basketball game and gave you another great set of minutes here tonight.
Played good.
Yeah.
Played really well. He does a good job. It's just, we're not done playing, so we're going to play some more basketball. So he's going to get to play some more.
And tell us about that. CBI?
Haven't decided yet.
Okay.
So,
but the plan is to go play.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, you come to
young team.
You come to school to play basketball. Guys don't want to play, then they can go somewhere else and play. But if you come here to play for us, the more we can play, the more. That's why you're here. You're here to go to school, get a great education, and play basketball. So I think we're going to play, and I'm excited about it. It gives us a chance to play some more games and get better, work on some things that we need to do, and possibly play some more guys. Play some guys that haven't got as near a chance that they wanted to get in Mountain West tournament, and maybe we'll get some chances in postseason.
Hunter and I talked about that in our postgame, about the developmental opportunity of playing more basketball with your young team.
Yeah, it just gives me a chance to play guys, I probably should have played Jordan Hunter more, but I just went with Tim Jacobs because he's a senior, and Jordan's had problems with his ankle. It's healed now, but, it might be a chance for me to play him a lot more minutes than Anthony Mathis and Dane Kuiper, and play Joe. I thought Joe was terrific tonight. Joe gave us some great minutes, but Joe's got to decide how good he wants to be, and he's got to get in the weight room, and he's got to really work on his game. But he played really, really hard for us. He's trusted me, and he's done a good job. But, I think he can be a good player for us.
Coach, I think that postseason is the beginning of your player development, and that's kind of what we're leading you to, because in the summer is when you get better.
Right.
I mean, I remember, as we played, and this is I think this is the beginning of your player development going into the next season, which would be the CBI or wherever the postseason.
Yeah, and you look at it, Hunter, and everybody didn't believe me, and I told him, I said, Tim Williams and Elijah Brown's they're going to be impact players. But you don't know till you see them. But those guys put in work in the summer, and they came out being first team, second team, however, whatever voter, whatever coaches, media. I can't keep track of it all, but it's one of those things where those guys showed what they could do, but we knew when we could put them in our system and how successful they could be, and they did that. Now, did we, win 25 games? No. Is that what we expect? Yeah, we'd like to go to the NCAA tournament every year, and we want to win the Mountain West tournament and win the conference. But that's a learning curve for us, and it's a process with these guys, and it's not. As I say it all the time, it's not instant oatmeal. It's a process, and guys that are going to be stay with the process are going to be successful. Guys that don't, they won't be. And that, Tom Izzo made a great comment. He goes, everybody doesn't want to deal with the process. Nobody wants to go through the process. Everybody wants it right now. Well, that's not the way it happens, and you got to go through the process, and you got to earn your stripes, and you got to earn the things we do. And as a group, we got to do that. We haven't done that yet.
Yeah, we're microwave society.
Microwave society, instant gratification. Yeah. But I think our guys are committed on coming back and doing some great things, and that's what we got to do.
I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Sam Logwood. He played a terrific
great.
game. Yeah, 16 was the season
and that's
high.
What we expect for Sam. But it's one of those things that Hunter knows this, and we had 700 transfers. And we're going to have there's going to be 700 this year, so you can't keep 13 guys happy, and I hope we don't have any, but it's going to be all around the country because that's what's happened. That's just what's happened with our game. So we'll just continue to keep working and try to get our team better.
Well, and I know that we don't know who you might lose if you lose somebody or not, but I know you love your class that's coming in, the guys that are coming in.
I love my team, so hopefully they'll be all right.
All right, Coach Neal, thank you so much.
All right, thanks, guys.
Delta Dental Coaches Comments brought to you by Delta Dental of New Mexico. We've got the national anthem here prior to UNLV and Fresno State.